So we're about to fit the sump again, but before we do, there's a little bit of gore gasket on the corner there, sitting there, a little piece sitting there, a little piece sitting over here. So that's just to emulate and simulate the cork gasket. Of course, there's going to be a lot more work to do when you actually finally seal the crankcase up after you checked everything and everything's hunky-dory. So we'll just thought we'd show you that before we go ahead and fit the sump. Trial fit. This is not the final one. So during the installation of the sump on your twin cam engine, now we've got the oil pipe fitted to the block. You have to do a test. First of all, you do the very careful measurements to make sure that what you're building is going to fit inside the sump. Now we've just put a little piece of plasticine on top of the gauze, the wire gauze of the oil pickup pipe, and it was about 6 mil high, little pimple. So we put the sump on after mounting that with cork gasket sitting around, not the original cork gasket, but some old cork gasket which is the same thickness as the sump gasket, and then lowered the sump down, just pressed on it with the hand and lifted it off. And we have 4 mil thickness of the plasticine, which is fine for enough clearance for the gauze to have clearance onto the sump. Now it's really well reinforced and stabilised, so it's not going to move anywhere, but you don't want it resting right on the floor, but just a little bit above it. Now the pipe itself, it's inside the gauze, so the distance from the end of the pickup pipe to the bottom of the sump is probably about 10, maybe 13 mil, 10 or 12 millimetres, which is fine because it's totally submerged in oil anyway, or will be with the sump, the way it's all set up. So I just thought I'd point that out and be aware of that. So the baffled sump is, the gates are totally assembled inside the sump with the windage tray. We'll take that little pip off, don't need that anymore. So we'll lower, just find the hole, here it is. Carefully lower the sump down and it all lines up. Lovely. Won't bother putting any of the bolts on because we're not going to do anything else with it. We just thought we'd show you what it looks like, and I'm sure you all know what a twin cam sump looks like. But of course it'll have all the rear seal holder and all the front will be all set up before you close anything up. But this is just a trial fit after we've finished building all of the sump. We've painted the sump now, had a sandblasted on the outside and primed and painted it, and we've assembled it and it all looks good. So we're quite happy with it. If it ever comes time to pull your engine out and you have to put the engine block back on the engine stand like this is, and you turn it upside down and you want to undo the sump studs and remove the sump, you can. Even though the swinging gates are free to swing around, but remember they have little limit stops on them which prevent them from falling down, and if that happens you won't get the sump off with the engine upside down. You have to turn it vertically like it's sitting in the car and lower the sump down from it. It's just the way the gates work. But this system, the way we got it now, we can lift it off. So we're looking close up at the crankshaft with the oil pipe, and we've got a rod on there temporarily mounted on the crank. So we rotate the crank, and it may look as though it's running close to the pipe, but it's not. It's just nowhere near it. It's probably about 8 mils away from it, nowhere near it. So if you, when I built the 1700, it was a little bit closer, but it could even go a larger capacity and longer throw crank, and we still wouldn't have any issues. So that's all good.